Welcome back to the Art of Math. Today we're going to go over some consecutive integer problems and specifically how to solve them quickly, the fast solution. Alright, so here you have an angry face, a very sad face, or a normal sad face and a happy face, and we'll see why that is. So the first problem is the sum of three consecutive integers is 45. Find the largest integer. Second one is all these dots just mean the same question, except replace 45 with 2160. Third question is there are 40 brothers with consecutive ages, and they are 980 years in total. Find the youngest age. Okay, so let's start off with number one, and then I'll explain what's up with these faces. So number one, we want three consecutive integers that add up to 45. All right, so I'm going to poke around. Let's try 10, 11, 12. That adds up to 33, no good. All right, let's make it a little higher. 11, 12, 13, no good. All right, so we're moving kind of slowly. Let's try, instead of 12 next, let's try like go all the way to 13. So 13, 14, 15, ooh, 42, kind of close. 14, 15, 16, yay, nailed it. All right, so the answer is 16. Now, in this video, we're trying to go over algebra applications, so you're probably wondering, why am I just trying to guess these numbers? And so that's why there's an angry face next to number one, because this is not a good problem. It allows you to cheat. So like if I didn't really want to use algebra, I could poke around and get it pretty easily. So in that sense, I would be a bad teacher, and this would be a bad problem if I were trying to teach you how to solve these by giving you this problem, because it's just too easy. It's not going to force you to learn anything. All right. Number two, this is going to be a bit better because now the number is 2160, so you don't really want to poke around with like, I don't know, 800, 801, 802, because the numbers are too large, you'd have to poke around too much. So now maybe you're like, okay, you've convinced me I should use some algebra. So in that sense, it's a better problem. So let's call the first number x, the second number will be x plus 1, the third number will be x plus 2. So add them up, you get 3x plus 3 equals 2160. Simplify this and move the 3 over, divide by 3, and you get x is 719. And remember, we want the largest. So, I don't know why I keep writing oldest because of that number 3 problem, but yeah, the largest number would be 2 higher, so it would be 721. So that's one way to do this problem. I don't really like this method, and this is why I'm calling this a medium bad problem. Nothing we did here was too bad, but the problem itself kind of sucks because it doesn't force you to learn good habits. So let's try a different approach. Rather than calling the first number x, we're going to call the middle one x. So on the right here, we're going to have x is the middle, the one before it is x minus 1, the one after it is x plus 1. So altogether, when we sum it, we get 3x is 2160 because the minus 1 and plus 1 cancel. And then once you solve this, you get x is 720. And then the last one is x plus 1 now, not x plus 2. And so it's 721. Again, I keep writing oldest for some reason. Now, this is a little faster than this, right? We didn't have this extra 3, but not by much. So that's why I call this a medium bad problem. I don't like this because if I show you this solution over this one, you're going to say like, what's the big difference? And you would be right. There's not much of a difference. All right, so now let's go to number 3. So in number 3, we're going to have 40 brothers. So let's call the first one x. So the next one is x plus 1 and so forth all the way up to, make sure it's not a 40 but a 39, because the x is like your 0. So it's 0, 1, 0 through 39. All right, so now we're going to sum all of this. We're going to have 40 x's. That's the easy part. But then you have all these numbers, 1 plus 2 plus 2, all the way up to 39. Now, the question mark is not because we don't know how to do this, but because it's really annoying. We don't want to have to do this. If you insist on doing this, we've actually covered how to do this, and you'd need special sums from video number 37. So the idea would be you can group the 1 and the 39, the 2 and the 38, and do it that way. It's a lot of work, so that's why there's this sad face, because we want to be lazy when it suits us. So if you insist on doing the special sums, you'd have 39 numbers. So if you pair them up, you have 39 over 2 pairs, and each pair sums to 40. So 39 over 2 times 40 will get you 780. By the way, if this is a little too quick, again, I encourage you to go to video number 37 and review special sums. So you're going to get 780. Now we have 40x plus 780 is 980. So chop off the 780. 40x is 200, x is 5. Okay, we got it, right? So we're looking for the youngest in this case, so that actually is the answer. But this step was really annoying. So let's try the other way. So instead of calling x the first one, you could say, I'm going to call x the last one, but then you'd have the same problem, except they'd just be all negatives. So instead, let's call x the middle one, just like we did in number 2. So x will be right over here. That's the middle guy. The one before him is x minus 1. Before that, x minus 2, all the way back to x minus 19. Now, I've arbitrarily chosen x to be number 20 because if there's 40 brothers, there's actually no middle number. 20 and 21 are both the middle, but this is close enough. So if you have, let's say, 5 brothers, the number 3 would be the best choice. But if you have 6, either 3 or 4 would be a good choice. So I've chosen something that's reasonable. So x is number 20, and we go all the way back to x minus 19, and forward, we actually have one extra person, and so we'd have x plus 20. This is number 40, the 40th brother. So when we add all of this up, the whole point of doing this, all of these negatives, the minus 1 all the way through negative 19, will cancel with all these positives. So except for that plus 20. So that's why we're going to have 40x plus 20 equal to 980. 40x is 960. Divided by 40, x is 24. But we want the first one, so we're going 19 back. So we're subtracting 19, so x minus 19 is 5. So compare how much work we did here with how much work we did here. I really want to emphasize this is a huge difference, especially like the crazier the problems get. So the reason I like number 3, this third problem, is that it forces you to be efficient. So that's why it's a good problem, not because I came up with it, but the first 2 problems, they don't force you to be efficient. So if you want to have a bad habit, it won't get rid of that bad habit. But here, if you're kind of lazy or you're a clever person, you want to do this really quickly, this is going to make you really care about doing this efficiently and setting one of the middle terms, the x. All right, I will see you guys in the next video.